Okay, people. So, Signature have just hooked me up with Dangerous Waters. This is the new film from John Barr, right? He wrote, directed, Mark Jackson co wrote it with him. Okay. It is produced by Mark Goldberg, Sousa Horvat, executive produced by Gareth Williams, David Sullivan, Christian McCurry, Richard Condell, Sarah Gabriel, and Patrick Fisher. It is co-produced by Pedro Catran, Franco Herrera, Ivan Herrera, Ben Jacks, Brianna Johnson, Michael McGrail, and John Rusk. So Zach McNeil handles the music. John Barr also does cinematography. It's edited by Emma Gaffney and Roger Croppell. Tanis Vallely is on casting. Alan Peferick is production design. Costume design is Charlotte Chadwick. Hair and makeup, we have Carrie Williams and Catherine Feltz. And our cast. All right, so we have got Odeya Rush, I think, as Rose, right? Saffron Burrows is her mother, Alma. Alma's new boyfriend, Derek Stipes, is played by Eric Dane. We have got Salah Baker as John. Omid Zadar is a henchman named Kevin. Talia Besson is Tabitha. Ray Egohanyan is Larry the henchman. Alexia Garcia is Roberta the henchwoman. And Ray Liotta is the captain. Right? The gist of the movie is this: a sailing adventure to Bermuda spirals out of control when 19-year-old Rose discovers the hidden depths of her mother's new boyfriend and his connection to a dark underworld led by the captain. So this was actually the very last film Ray Liotta shot. Right? He died in his sleep during shooting of this film. So yeah, I mean, he is kind of menacing. Yeah, kind of deranged and menacing in this role. Right? So it starts off, right? Basically, Alma, she works hard as a waitress, on her feet, and it's her birthday, right? She's just turned 40. She's got a 19-year-old daughter. Um, you know, yeah, she's got this 19-year-old daughter who is Rose. And they've just looked after each other basically through the last few years. Now, Alma has got a new boyfriend, Derek, who has said he was going to take them on a sailing trip to Bermuda. Right? And they go. Now, I think they've been dating a month, right? Which to go on a sailing trip with someone, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of a crazy thing. And also, like, if there's two people, okay, fine. Three on a boat It's not a huge boat, right? So 3 of you on this huge boat. Plus, right, it's her birthday. She's going on a boat with her boyfriend. Obviously, they're gonna have sex. It's a small boat. That means there's no masking from your kid, right? Your kid is gonna hear you getting busy. Right? That doesn't sound like the most ideal of trips. You know what I mean? Look, you want your daughter to meet your dude, go out for a meal, right? Go out for a meal. Something like that. You know what I mean? Just a recipe for disaster, this. Without anything, crazy happening. You know what I mean? There's so much there. But yeah, so they've gone away. And that's when everything kind of starts to spiral out of control. Now, I will say, when someone gets given something in a film early on, you know that thing is then going to be pivotal, 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 pivotal. I feel that is the word, right? It's going to be that at the end of the film. It's always the way. They'll focus on an item. There's a thing about someone being given something. It's always gonna factor in, right? Which is the case. It is the case. Now, it's one of those stories where it seems like, well, I mean, something creepy is gonna happen. You just know. You know what I mean? Before anything else, like people going on this trip to Bermuda, right? Bermuda Triangle, all of that thing. So something's gonna go down. And yeah, it does. Now, there are numerous things in this film where you're just like, what? Like, huh? That doesn't seem to make any sense. Or it's just the overreaction to an incident. Like there's a lot of that happening, especially at the beginning. Right? Now there's a bit when they get to an island, and everything seems fine at that point, right? But I mean, well, there's one bit when you like a life jacket isn't the hardest thing to work out. And you figure before, there's instructions and all of this. So there's an incident with a life jacket that just seems a bit like, what? What's happening here? But yeah, so yeah, on this island, it's all fine. And then we suddenly have someone switch up who they are, which it feels like a weird thing, because at that point you figure the person still needs help, so it's just surely you would have waited before this thing happens, right? And it also, then once you find out like the idea of a certain plan, you figure, okay, so what was the trip? You know, like if you had this certain thing in mind, was the trip, were you gonna do something on that trip, to do a certain thing? Like that's what you wonder, after that point. But yeah, so now back on the boat, right? Back on the boat, as soon as because I think you can work out a film by when certain things are happening. So if something looks too good way before the end, you know it's not going to be that. So yeah, there's this thing, and you automatically understand that, oh, okay, I figure what happens here will be, and yes, that is the thing that goes down, right? Now, I think there's things with this because, again, we get this next big shift in the tone of the film. Big shift in the tone of the film. I will point out, Rose is wearing a greenish kind of t-shirt, which you feel that was deliberate, right? You kind of think, oh, let's put her in a Lara Croft colored kind of top, right? To invoke that character kicking ass, right? That's what I feel happened with this. But the only problem is we have that situation with fights, right? Where people seem to discredit what a blow to the head can do. You know, like after years of boxing and now MMA on TV, right? We know. Plus, if anyone's ever hit their head, right, fallen over, hit their head, anything like that, you get that you're kind of fucked, right? There's no, just going about your business. You're just dazed and all of this kind of thing. So if a grown man headbutts a girl, yeah, that's going to be problematic. You're not just running or just doing much after that. You're going to be completely gone. As the same with going down the stairs, which, for years when I was younger, I thought falling down the stairs was just like, I mean, 'cause I did it so much. Then you see something where someone breaks their neck falling down, and you're just like, but no, that can't. Then you realize, yes, that can happen. That's not just a, odd coincidence. People break their neck falling down the stairs all the time. And there's definitely ways where if you fall like that, you are more likely to break your neck. So there is a bit with stairs, and you do think, yeah, a neck would have been broken after that one. Oh my god. It's yeah, just a little bit. And you know, we have someone that hasn't used the gun a lot. Suddenly a crack shot. But right, you have them being a crack shot with a gun to then suddenly hesitating. And you just think, who's hesitating at that point? Right? After everything you're trying to tell me that someone is going to be like, no, no. Now, you understand, they're trying to build tension, but it just doesn't necessarily make any sense, right? So it's a film that seems to take three different turns, three distinct, sharp turns in what it's showing itself to be, which, that can all be fine. But the story is just a little ludicrous, right? Just a little ludicrous. You just go, no, I'm not buying that, yo. Ain't buying that gonna happen, you know? Right. The cast, it's fine. Like you just have a lot of things that are a little, you know, they're not that believable. So certain reactions from our cast, you don't really buy. Oh dear, sorry people. Yeah, you don't necessarily buy, those reactions. You're like, hold on a second. Wait, you're telling us that? I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. But, you know, it's one of those films where you don't think, right? You would just let it play and go, okay, all right, fine. You know, it's not a film where you're just going to be like, yo, this was incredible. you know, I would say if you enjoyed stuff like, oh God, what was that? What we watched recently? It was, it was that wedding one, right? Well, there's a film called Assassin with Bruce Willis, right? So there's that one. The best man. That's it. If you enjoyed those films, then Dangerous Waters will work for you. You know, I think that's a good way of gauging it. Because otherwise, yeah, anything else is, as I said, it's just, you know, unbelievable. It's just kind of unbelievable in a lot of the incidents that go down, you know. But if you want to see a young girl, take take destiny into her own hands and survive, then yeah, maybe Dangerous Waters is for you. So it will be hitting a VOD near you on Friday, the 13th of October. Okay. So, yeah, if you like those kind of mindless action films, right? They're the type of action film that used to go straight to DVD back in the day, right? Then Dangerous Waters yeah, will be just your ticket. So, yeah, I think that is a fair benchmark, people. So make of it what you will.